Hello, beautiful sisters. Happy New Year. It's really, really wonderful to be here with you. Today is the beginning of a brand new year, and it's also the beginning of Metabolism Makeover Wednesdays. And that's because when we're suffering from symptoms of hormone imbalance, it's because our metabolism needs a little bit of support. So I'm really excited to be here with you today and talk about what that means and how I can best support you. So if you're joining in with me, I'd love to hear from you. Just say hello, like this, share it, give a thumbs up. I'd love to answer questions today and just kind of get a start to the new year to see what's going on for you and how you best like support. So it's pretty special for us to be able to spend this time together. Yeah, so welcome, and I do want to answer questions today, your questions on, where you are and what next steps might be for you and how can you make this year your best year yet. Doesn't that sound exciting? Sounds so amazing. I'm getting ready for the Heal Your Hormones live conference. That's actually next week. So it's starting a week from Friday. And, all of our efforts have been towards that for the last few months. It's going to be an incredible, incredible event. And I hope that you're able to come. If not, you can get a lot of support here for sure. And it's really I shared a secret, I think, this morning. It's the first time many of us on our team have actually met each other. So come next Wednesday night, we're actually going to be able to give each other hugs in person for the very first time. So special. So that's what's coming up for us. We get to spend 4 or 5 days together, really just in each other's company, which is going to be so absolutely beautiful. I feel like I know every single one of them so well because we meet every week. And in reality, I haven't ever met most of them in person. So pretty fun. So if you're just joining in, welcome. It's so great to have you here, and would just love to hear sort of where you are, what's going on for you, what questions do you have, and how can I best support you? Yeah, so, if you're struggling a little bit right now and need support, you are not alone. Oh my gosh, just give me a heart or give me, something so that I know that you're there and that you're looking for support this year. I shared this box that's kind of cool. I can't share it with you because I'm not on Zoom, but it's this great picture. It's a great picture, and it just has a whole bunch of boxes on it. And those boxes represent a week. And the page is filled up with basically that many weeks that you have if you live to be 90 years old. And it's really not that much when you look at it. And it's a little scary, in fact. And you think, okay, well, for myself, I have checked off more than half of the boxes. In fact, I'm more than halfway to 90 years old. And the question that we want to ask ourselves is, how do we want to live the rest of our lives? Like, what do we want that to look like? In fact, how do we want to live the rest of this year even? So, think about that for a minute. And one thing that I wanted to encourage you to think about today is, like, what's in your way? What's in your way of reaching your health goals? Hi, Deborah. Great to see you here. Great to see you here, dear. So what's in the way of you reaching your health goals? And, that's a big question. And sometimes there's more than one answer. And I know for me, it was, first I didn't know that my health problems were fixable. I think that's, one of the biggest challenges that we face is that we don't know that a lot of what we're experiencing is common, but it's not normal. So for me, I didn't know that a lot of the things that I was experiencing could be fixed. And I think that the second thing that I didn't know is that I didn't know how bad I felt. I didn't know that I felt so bad. And I have this little saying that goes something like, we don't know how bad we feel until we start to feel better, or until we start to heal. So we don't know how bad we feel until we start to heal. And then, all of a sudden the light goes on and we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I felt so bad, right? Can you relate to that? If you can relate, just put a heart or a like or a share. Yeah. And if you've joined in and I just don't see you, just say hello, because I'll be able to see you if you just say hello. All right, so let's talk about metabolism, because this is going to be Metabolism Makeover Wednesdays. We're going to actually meet on the first Wednesday of every month and the third Wednesday of every month. So you're going to get, some powerful information, but I also want to have an exchange where I answer the questions that are most important to you, because I think that's the way that you can move forward. That's the way that you can have the next steps. So let's talk for a minute while women are joining in. Let's talk for a minute about what metabolism actually is. Hi, Susie. Great to see you here, sweetie. Really great to be here with you. So metabolism, the formal definition is really the chemical processes that occur within a living organism in order to maintain life. So it's kind of a boring definition, but your metabolism is actually all of the different processes that happen in order for us to stay living, basically. So if we have metabolism, we're alive, and it manages really the building up processes of the body. And when we're breaking down faster than we're building up is when we start to feel terrible, right? We start to have all of these symptoms of hormone imbalance. So that's why our metabolism is so important when we talk about hormones. And I know that if you are in this group, you are someone who wants to take charge of her health. You're someone who wants to find a natural solution. And that's fantastic, because you know that there is something that's not right and you want to heal it. So that's fantastic. You're already on the path to healing. So I want to share a little bit about, so that's kind of what metabolism means. And let me share about what the concept of breaking down and building up is, because that's really how you want to think about hormones, how you want to think about metabolism. So really our body is either building up, so you're building muscle, you're building brain chemistry, you're running your liver function, right? Your liver's processing everything that you take in every day. Your digestion is running well. Things are on track, and that's when your body is building up. You're building brain chemistry, you're building muscle, you're building up. And when your body's breaking down, it's when you are using all of those raw materials too quickly. So your body's breaking down fast. That's when we get, more wrinkles. That's when our muscles start to decline. We have more fat, right? We're becoming a better fat storer instead of building muscle. And so our bodies are breaking down too fast, and that's when we feel all the yucky symptoms. So we want to keep the building up and the breaking down at least even. So we want to be building up as much as we're breaking down, if not a little bit more. For some of us, we want to build more muscle, right? And so that's important for us to be building up more than we're breaking down. And that's what metabolism is all about. That's why I thought Metabolism Makeover Wednesdays would be amazing, because we can learn those tools that we need to have a healthier metabolism. And once we have a healthier metabolism, right, we feel pretty darn good. So I'd like to talk now about hormones in general, because we are, as women, we're really clear on what hormones are in a sense. But, when we talk about hormones, we really think about, for the most part, we think about our sex hormones. So we think about testosterone and progesterone and estrogen. And I've seen, many of us post in this group that our estrogen is too high, or our progesterone is too low, or our testosterone is too high, or FSH and LH are out of balance. All these different concepts around our sex hormones. But in reality, the hormones that we want to pay attention to are a little bit different than that, because our sex hormones are way downstream, which means that our sex hormones are made when we're more balanced. And so there is a concept around fight or flight. So our fight or flight system, or our sympathetic nervous system, and our parasympathetic or rest and digest nervous system. It's also called the feed and breed nervous system, and I'm going to share with you why. And as I'm talking, if any questions are coming up for you, just post them right in the comment section, and I can see them. I'm just wondering if I'm not. Let me just go on my phone here for a second, and see if I can see your comments. See who's joined in, because I know that there are more of you on than I'm seeing, and I just want to make sure that I say hello. So let me see here if I can see you. Okay, well, I'm not very good at this, so I'm not sure that I'm not sure where the video is actually. So while I'm looking us up, maybe you can think of a question and just post it. And in the meantime, I might just not have access. Okay, so I don't have access, I'm not sure. So let me see if I can pull it up here on my computer, because I want to say hello to all of you who have joined in, and just say hi, and then I'll know that you're here. So we're talking about our sex hormones, and we seem to be, really aware of our sex hormones because maybe our doctor has tested our sex hormones, and that's how we know that they're out of balance. Oh, there I am. Okay. All right, great. So go ahead and yeah, just say hello. I don't know how to tell. I know that some of you are watching, but I just don't know that you're there. So just say hello if you're there somewhere. And so, we're really aware of what's going on with our sex hormones for some reason, but they're actually way downstream. So what that means is that the most important hormones, the big hormones, are really insulin and cortisol, and there's adrenaline, which is really important. So it's those three biggies that are the most important. And when we're out of hormone balance, when our sex hormones are out of balance, it's because we're in that sympathetic nervous system too much, or the fight or flight nervous system. And so what that then makes our body do is we end up producing too much cortisol, too much insulin, too much adrenaline, and we just don't make our sex hormones. Or we make too much testosterone and sometimes too much estrogen as a result, and we completely bypass making enough progesterone. And so you've got to look way upstream. So if there's one thing that you get from being in this beautiful group of ours, it's that we've got to look way upstream from our sex hormones. So when I see, women posting about, that their estrogen is too high, or they're estrogen dominant, or their testosterone is too high, I want you to go back and start looking at cortisol and insulin and adrenaline, because that's going to give you a really good indication of why your sex hormones are out of balance. So let me just, let's talk. Hey, Christy, great to see you here, sweetie. Great to see you here. So, and I love your hola, hola. I love Spanish. Hola, hola, chica. Hola, bonita. So let me just share kind of there's a metabolism myth that I would like to share. So we're just going to kind of debunk metabolism right here, because I want us to get really clear on what metabolism is. And as you join in, please say hello, and And when any questions come up, please post them, because I really want to answer your questions. So, our culture has come to equate thinness with health, and that's really anything but the truth. You might think that someone has a healthy metabolism and that person can eat anything he or she wants because they don't gain weight, right? But this is not always true, because the physiological definition of a healthy metabolism actually refers to all the processes of efficient regeneration. That's the building up that I was talking about. And using functional and structural proteins and fats, not just the ability to burn off sugar and stored fat as energy. So I can give you a couple of examples. I was talking to one gal a couple of days ago. She was trying to decide whether to come to the Heal Your Hormones conference or not. And oftentimes we feel like we know all the right things to do. I hear this all the time. I know what to eat. I know how to exercise. And then my question is to you is, be open, right? Be open. Be open to new ideas if your health isn't where you want it to be. Just be open. I just invite you to be open. Hi, Nancy. Great to see you here. Hi, is it Ari or Aries? Great to see you here. So be open to new ideas if your health isn't where you want it to be. And she was telling me, this gal who I spoke to about the conference was telling me that she knew what to eat, and she was avoiding all fats completely. And she was following the Dean Ornish diet. And as you can imagine, I'm a little freaked out by that, because fats make our hormones. Fats make all of our hormones. And so they make all of our steroid hormones. So without healthy fats, we're going to be in big, big trouble. And so I want to make sure that, that we don't fall into those traps of thinking one way and then kind of going deeper in debt as far as our hormones go. We want to make sure, again, that with a healthy metabolism, we're building up at least as much as our body is breaking down. And that's whether you're in your 20s or whether you're in your 60s, right? Postmenopause or beyond, whatever it is. When I was in my 20s, my metabolism was breaking down way too fast. My body was breaking down way too fast. I couldn't keep up. I didn't have the resources that I needed to keep up. My body was really struggling. So it doesn't matter what age, and you can experience similar symptoms at any age. And kind of those critical places that I always think about are really if you have symptoms of PCOS. That's pretty critical, because you know that your metabolism is breaking down too fast if you have symptoms of PCOS. If you have perimenopausal symptoms, so you're over 40 and you're starting to experience symptoms that you've never experienced before, that is an indication that your metabolism is not functioning optimally, right? Your body's breaking down too fast. Same thing postmenopause. If you experience symptoms postmenopause, your body is breaking down too fast. And what you'll notice is that your wrinkles can actually heal. I remember when I was in my late teens and my 20s, I would put on face cream to prevent wrinkles. And I thought, I am going to get ahead of this game. I am not going to get wrinkles. I'm going to use the best face cream. And little did I know, it really had nothing to do with that. We can get a good night's sleep and actually remove a bunch of wrinkles. Like, there's so many things we can do to stay aging really gracefully. It's not that grace, that great facial that you get that actually makes your skin look so beautiful. It's really taking care of your metabolism, no matter what your age. So we're given, symptoms and clues all along the way. So for those of you listening, what is one symptom that you're experiencing right now that you can tell, is a sign that your body is breaking down too fast? Like, what is one of those symptoms that you're experiencing? I'd love to hear from you what that is. And then, of course, if any questions are coming up for you, just post them right here, and I would love to answer them. All right, so let's talk about what hormones actually are a little bit. I love to talk about that. So um, hormones are really your body's messengers. Okay, hormones are your body's messengers, and if they're not delivering the right messages, you will feel lousy, and with time, you will develop degenerative diseases of aging, and that can happen no matter what your age, right? And your body's talking to you all the time about it. Ari says extreme tiredness. Yeah, so that's thank you for sharing, by the way. Thank you for being bold and being vulnerable. It's really awesome. In preparing for the conference, I just have this incredible woman who is helping me with all the little details, and I'm just so grateful for her. And she actually shared my post about the conference and was completely open and vulnerable about some of the health issues that she's going through. And that's what it takes. It takes that recognition that something's wrong, right? You have to say, yes, something's wrong and I want to fix it. That's all it takes. It takes that awareness. And then all of a sudden, all these really cool things start coming into alignment to help you fix it. It's really magical. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. So Ari, that extreme tiredness is something that is just not serving you, right? And I get that you're a woman who has things that she wants to do, and that extreme tiredness is keeping you stuck. So I'm so glad you're here. So glad. So we talked about hormones being your body's messengers, and if your hormones are not delivering the right messages, then you feel lousy. Secondly, since hormones are made mainly from proteins, cholesterol, and essential fats, eating a balanced diet is critical for keeping up the production of your hormones. So when we're younger, we don't need as much cholesterol, but as we age, there's a little bit of a problem with how our society or how the medical community views cholesterol. So I kind of want to clear up a little myth around that, and that is that as we age, we are actually leaning towards needing more cholesterol rather than less cholesterol, because cholesterol makes all of our steroid hormones. And as a result, we need more of that as we age. So you want to be careful. You don't want to go too low with your cholesterol, or you just won't feel well. Okay, so that's, when we're younger, that's okay. So if you have lower cholesterol numbers, I'm going to share all of this at the conference about, what lab tests to run and where your numbers should be optimally. But cholesterol, you want it to be, at least at 170 total cholesterol, because, that's where then that you have enough to make your hormones. Okay, so 170 to 200, and unfortunately, once you get even close to 200, the message that we get from the medical community is that it's too high. We have to do something about it. It's all this fear around cholesterol, and be careful about that, because we want to have enough that we feel well, right? We got to have those hormones in balance, and then. Just want to take a break for just a moment and just make sure that, if you have any questions, that you post them right here. And if anything's resonating with you, you just let me know with a heart or a thumbs up or whatever it is, so that I know that, I'm sharing information that's beneficial for you. And anything that's coming up, whether it's just a comment, I'd love to hear what's coming up for you. And Ari has shared, what, like, one of her big health issues is that she wants to overcome this year. And is there one that you have? Maybe there are two, maybe there are three. They don't often just come one at a time, right? And I'll share what that is in just a moment. So I want to finish sort of the summary of hormones. So hormones are our body's messengers. They're mainly made from proteins, cholesterol, and essential fats. Since all the hormone systems of the body are interconnected, if one hormone system is out of balance, they are all out of balance. So it may seem like, everything's a mess, and it's because all of your hormones go out of balance when just one is out of balance. That's pretty crazy, right? And then every hormone, major or minor, plays a role in your health and plays a role in longevity. So how long and how well you're going to live. So, the quality of life. And let me just finish this and I'll share a couple of other thoughts with you. Hormones control regeneration in the body. So that's the building up of the body. And if your hormones are not balanced, your body's ability to regenerate will be compromised. So we're coming back to metabolism again. So is your body able to build up as much as it's breaking down? Again, you want that at least even, if not more, building up. So I noticed that when I really push myself, my brain chemistry suffers. I don't feel as optimistic. I don't feel as positive. So I have to really consciously support my brain chemistry because my digestion suffers a little bit. So I'm not breaking down my proteins and fats as well as I could be to have that happy brain chemistry. So as you can see, when one thing goes sideways, everything goes sideways, okay? Yeah, Ari says, please, where is the conference? Can we watch online? Oh, yeah, so I'll post the link. Let me just post the link to the conference right here in case it's something that you can do. I do most everything online, but this conference is in person. So, and it's because we can just have so much more transformation in person. But I will keep, we're going to keep working in here too. Just you're not going to get all of it in a transformative weekend, but here's the link if you want to see more about the conference. And great to see you here, Dana. Great to see you. Does PCOS ever go away? That is such a great question. And what happens with PCOS is that we have the genetic predisposition to be more stressed out. That's really what PCOS or symptoms of PCOS is. Because I can speak from personal experience. And so the symptoms of PCOS can absolutely go away because I'm a great example. And my team who is going to be at the conference is a great example, right? In fact, those women are on my team because they have been so successful with eliminating symptoms of PCOS. And for those of you who don't know what PCOS is, that stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, and it's misnamed, so never mind the name, but really what it is it's just an androgen excess condition. So you might experience hirsutism or body hair growth where you don't want it. You might experience hair loss. You might experience infertility, menstrual irregularity, acne. That was one of my big things, was acne for a lot of years. Fatigue, mood imbalances are huge. And then there is thin PCOS where it's kind of the opposite in a sense. It's still androgen excess, but your system is upregulated a lot. So you're kind of even more stress sensitive. So you can, Dana, you can totally manage the symptoms like I do, like my team does, like a lot of us do. And so they completely go away. And then when they start to come back, that's a clue, right? Wherever you are in age and with symptoms, when they start to come back, your body's saying, oh, you're a little bit out of balance, right? Pull back in and regroup and figure out what's going on. So that's all that you need to do, right? So PCOS, the symptoms can completely go away, but just know that you have you have either the genetic or the lifestyle things going on that can bring those symptoms back pretty easily. So you just have to be aware and stay on top of it, right? I was talking to my beautiful clients yesterday, and she was telling me about, we actually had a group call, and she was telling me about how she's lost 20 pounds, and she's really, as I say, when you don't know how bad you feel until you start to heal. And she went home for the holiday. She hadn't seen her family since we started working together, and they were blown away. by how beautiful, how healthy she looked. And of course, let's face it, we're weird. We're here in the Natural Solutions for Hormone Balance group. And just because we're in this group, we're a little weird, right? Let's say amen to that. We're a little weird because we're looking for natural solutions. And that makes us kind of on the edge. We're on the edge a little bit. But what's so cool about that is we are leaders. I just want you to let that sink in for a minute. Christy Dorff, who joined us a little bit earlier, she is an incredible leader in this group, in our 5-element group. She really shows up in a big way. She's a leader. We are leaders. And it was really interesting because my client said, I went home, they noticed all the incredible changes. She said, but I brought my stuff. She brought, a lot of her food with her. She even brought her blender so she could make her great shakes. She brought her stuff with her. And her mom is a neat freak and, doesn't like extra stuff on the kitchen counter. So her mom said, don't worry, I have a space for you right here. And so her family was really supportive because they know that she's been trying really hard. And her mom even made her some special dishes that, would really support her. So that's why I say we're a little weird. And of course, those special dishes are just healthier food choices, right? But here's the really cool part. When I talk about, we're leaders, okay, we're weird, right? Okay, let's just acknowledge that. But we're also leaders because everybody is watching what you're doing. Everybody's watching what you're doing. You don't think they are. You think that they're judging you and, oh, look, she doesn't eat the donuts that are in the office, or she doesn't go for the candy jar. She smells the cake at birthdays, but she doesn't eat it. They're kind of judging, right? But they're also watching because you're looking so darn good and they want what you're having. So kind of the takeaway from, my client's adventure going home for the holidays, and she's in her 40s, late 40s, I want to say mid to late 40s, was that, her mom basically wants to do the work. She said, I want to know what you're doing. I want to know who this woman is, who you're working with. And, she was like, oh, wow. She was thinking to herself, I'm making progress with my family. They're starting to listen. And we can't really expect our family to go along or our friends to go along until we've shown them how awesome this journey can be. And that, yes, you can do it all by yourself. And yes, it takes you taking charge of your health to heal all of these chronic health conditions because there is no medical solution. And I just want to make sure that we stop blaming the medical community for our problems. When we go to the doctor and we're told that we're fine, okay, yes, let's acknowledge it's a horrible 4-letter word, right? But the bottom line is until you have disease, there are no solutions for you in our medical system, right? And so you have to take charge. You know your body better than anyone else, and the tools are out there. In fact, just, they're here in this group. There's some amazingly wise women in this group. Yeah, because we get it, right? So I offered to you earlier to, I'm just going to remove that, the preview there. Ari said, will you talk about PCOS too? Absolutely. So I'm covering at the conference, especially I'm covering, all the areas where, we're challenged, hormonally. And so we're actually going to do a complete symptom survey on day 1, what's going on for you? Because I didn't know that some of the symptoms that I was experiencing were problems. I didn't know that everybody didn't have receding gums. I didn't know that, everybody didn't have rough elbows. I had no idea. I didn't know that everybody's, the skin on their toes didn't peel. I had little peely skin on the bottom of my toes and my feet. I didn't know that that wasn't normal. So we'll look at all those things in greater detail and better understand what's causing them. What are those root causes that cause all this weird stuff to happen to our bodies? And Dana said, what do you recommend to do to start getting rid of it? So to start supporting your PCOS symptoms. I want to say hello to Cindy, hello to Karen, hi beautiful women. So we just have a few more minutes today, and we're just really getting grounded in, what our metabolism is and what hormones do and how we can really support us to do better. So Dana, be brave for a minute, beautiful woman, and share just one or two symptoms that you're experiencing right now. Just one or two symptoms that you really want to support this year and heal, right? Because you can't just get rid of it, because I assume you're referring to PCOS, but unfortunately, it's just a condition. It's just a collection of symptoms. So your job this year, Dana, is to get really clear on what those root causes are for you. What is it that's causing those symptoms that you hate? And it doesn't, there's no judgment in this group. So I just want to make sure that we all know that this is a group where we look at everything through the lens of love, okay? We look at everything through the love lens. We're supportive. There is not one of us in this group that doesn't have some health challenge. And I have to say, it took me a really long time to be able to share mine. I had so much guilt and shame around my health challenges. And I think about it now and I think that's so crazy. Why did I take ownership of that? We just feel so embarrassed that, we have all this weird stuff going on in our bodies. It's really crazy to talk about. I mean, when you have acne on your face and your chest and your back and you're, hiding all the time, there's a lot of guilt and shame and embarrassment that goes with that. And, if you're losing your hair, if you have weird, hair growth on your face or your chest or your body, or, it's just uncomfortable and we want to hide, but it's not our fault. It's just how our body is responding to our metabolism breaking down too fast. So let's finish with hormones, because we got off track a little bit, and I want to make sure that we're really clear on what hormones are. Hey, Aisha, great to see you here. Hey, Lija or Liha, great to see you here. And I'm going to get to your questions in just a moment. Oh, Aisha, love you, Robin. You're amazing. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, dearest. Oh, so grateful. Thank you. Going to bring tears to my eyes. Yeah, this group is really special. I just want to make sure that, we all really, really appreciate this group. It's just such a safe space where we can get just amazing support. So we're so blessed. So I want to finish. So I shared, I'm just going to give a quick recap because I want to make sure for those of you who just joined in that you get what hormones are. So there are body's messengers. And if they're not delivering the right messages, you feel lousy. Okay. And hormones are made from proteins, cholesterol, and essential fats. Okay. So you have to have those three building blocks in order to have balanced hormones. Okay. And since all hormone systems of the body are interconnected, if one is out of balance, they are all out of balance. Okay. And, every hormone, major or minor, plays a role in your health, how you're feeling, and the quality of life and how long you live, okay? Really important. And then hormones control the regeneration in your body. And if your hormones aren't balanced, your body's ability to regenerate will be compromised. So that's, you're either building up your body or you're breaking it down. And more often we're breaking it down too much too fast. So we want to give our body the resources, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals, so that we can build up at least as fast as we're breaking down. And if we don't feel well, we've got to build up more to catch up, okay? And then regeneration needs have increased. So that's because, I was talking to a woman today and she said, my grandmother just transitioned so easily into menopause. And I thought that that's the way it would be for me. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's almost impossible to transition really easy into menopause these days because our lives are so busy. The world is moving so fast. I mean, I feel it. You know, being in this Facebook group, you know, serving, I have many groups that I run, many women who I serve, and it's hard to be everywhere at once, right? It takes a lot of resources. And so as a result, our bodies are breaking down a lot faster than in previous generations. Now, if you're a millennial, you get that, right? You know, we expected our bodies to kind of mimic, you know, the bodies of our grandmothers or our mothers, and they lived in a much slower time. When I was growing up, we didn't have the internet, so I couldn't look up a lot of this stuff. I used to be a little bit embarrassed to share about that, but hey, we are completely open and vulnerable here, right? And I shared with you how, you know, those weekly boxes of living to be 90, right? I've checked off more than half of them now. So you kind of have an idea of where I am. And, you know, we're so blessed to be able to have the internet, but at the same time, life is going by very quickly. And so we're using up even more of our body's resources. And so we have to be that much more aware of helping our bodies to build back up. So just keep thinking, how can I build my body back up? What are those things I can do? Okay. And then the last one, in order for you to feel better and heal your hormones and stay healthy, you have to improve your nutrition and lifestyle habits. Okay. And this will keep you regenerating efficiently because it's your body's ability to effectively regenerate that determines how well you feel. And so that's the whole concept, and that's why I named these Wednesdays Metabolism Makeover Wednesdays, because, you know, whatever you're suffering from, you've got to get your metabolism back into balance. So I just love to know, like, what questions are coming up for you as I talk about these things, and how can I best support you today? And I think kind of the biggest question that I had for you today was, you know, what's in your way of reaching your health goals? And whether you post it here right now or whether you post it, you know, after we get off, just make sure you post in the comment section here and kind of reflect on what that looks like for you, and, you know, what's in your way. And then I want to ask you one more question. What is your big why? Like, why are you motivated? What is kind of pushing you this year in beautiful month of January, where you have this whole clean slate, right, for the rest of the year, and you can paint whatever picture you want for your health? What is motivating you when life gets in the way, which it certainly will, right? What is motivating you to make the necessary changes to feel better this year? What is your big why? So it's something that, you know, you really want to think about this, because it's something that is just really important to you. So I can share what my big why was, like why I even got into doing what I'm doing. My big why is because I learned when I was really young that I hated being sick. I just hated being sick. I felt like I was being left out. You know, I felt, not only do you feel horrible, right, but you can't get off the couch. You're kind of stuck. I couldn't go out and play. I couldn't do anything I wanted to do. And one more thing I learned was that it's lonely, like feeling terrible, like having the acne, gaining weight for me, not feeling like I could show up how I wanted to. I was so tired a lot of the time, and I had so much brain fog, I just couldn't show up how I wanted to. And it's lonely, like nobody could help me. People could say, oh, I feel really sorry for you. I'm really sorry you're sick. And, you know, you just kind of want to smack them. It's like, well, fix it for me. You know, I don't want to be sick. But there's nobody who can help you. They can feel sorry for you, which might just keep you stuck. But they can't fix it, right? Only you can fix it. So your big why, my big why, is always because I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. I want to live life to the fullest. I want to play full out. And it's when I can't that big transformation happens for me because I want to figure it out. Okay. Oh, thank you. I want to figure out why I can't play full out. And so what is your big why? So 2 big questions that I'm asking you. What's in your way for this year of reaching your health goals? And what is your big why? It's going to motivate you this year to stay on track. And if you know what it is right now, just post it right here. If you have to think about it, then post it later. Okay. And I want to get to Leha's question. Would you recommend getting tested for food intolerances for helping with gut health? Oh my gosh, that is an incredibly important question. In fact, with my private clients, we talked about that yesterday. So I am not a fan of getting food intolerance testing first thing. And it's interesting because some of my colleagues would argue with me, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've been supporting women to heal their hormones for this is my 16th year, or maybe 17th year, a really long time. And what I've learned is I used to do food intolerance testing a lot, and this I'm going to share a lot more about this at the conference too. But I don't do it first thing. And the reason is because unless your adrenals are in better shape, those little sweet walnut-sized glands that sit on top of your kidneys that are responsible for so much, right? Especially when it comes to hormone balance. They regulate blood sugar. They have so much to do with healthy digestion. They produce a lot of our hormones. Unless our adrenals are healthy and our metabolism is running better, our digestion is just going to be in bad shape. Like there's going to be, we're going to have to do a lot of support around our digestion. And unfortunately, what's going to happen is you're going to come back intolerant or reactive to so many foods. And a food intolerance test measures your IgG response or your delayed immune response. So sometimes you won't even be able to tell, you know, if you're having a reaction to a food until, you know, you just feel terrible, right? It's the FLC, till you feel like crap. But you might not be able to tie it back to a specific food until you do food intolerance testing. But that's food intolerance testing I like to do later in my programs because you want to heal some of your systems first, and then you want to see what's left. And so there are some major foods that I do require my private clients to eliminate right out of the gate. But as far as refining things, yeah, I wait until later to do food intolerance testing. And what you'll find is that if you do it right away, you're going to be intolerant to so many foods, and you're going to be really discouraged. And even eliminating all of those foods is not going to help you get where you want to go very fast, because you have to heal everything. Remember what I said about one hormone being out of whack, they're all going to be out of whack. So, and our hormones play a big role in digestion. All right, beautiful ladies, it's been amazing being with you here today. And if any questions come up for you at any time, you know, around our talk today, around metabolism, around building up versus breaking down in our bodies, around what hormones are and what they do, post here. And I will meet you here again in 2 weeks, unless I'm going to see you at the conference. If I'm going to see you at the conference, oh my gosh, that's going to be the most special thing ever. Just be sure to come up to me and say hello and give me a big hug. I just can't wait to see all of you who are coming. And otherwise, if I don't see you at the conference, I will see you here after the conference. All right, sending you so much love. Bye for now.